David Muir, ABC's World News Tonight, America's most watched newscast. Now streaming same day with all the breaking news of the day on Disney+. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney+ every night.
Breaking tonight, the search intensifies for an American airman missing deep inside Iran as President Trump warns Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz or else. We begin tonight with that urgent search underway after an F-15 was shot down behind enemy lines. One crew member was rescued, but a second has not been found. Iran now offering a reward to its citizens of about $60,000 to anyone who captures the American. This coming just days after President Trump claimed Iran's defenses were completely non-existent. Top national security officials are huddled at the White House. The president renewing his warning to Iran, saying it has 48 hours to allow oil shipments through the Strait of Hormuz, or else all hell will rain down on them. Inside Iran, new fears of a wider war as a key nuclear facility is attacked. The group Human Rights Watch says Iran is now calling up children as young as 12 years old to join the fight. Back here at home, the price of gasoline and jet fuel spiking. Airlines are hiking up fees. Amazon and other shippers are now imposing surcharges. Also tonight, they're more than halfway there. As Artemis II speeds towards the moon, its crew sends back some remarkable images of the Earth. Wildfires break out in the west, kicked up by the Santa Ana winds. Evacuations ordered with thousands of acres burned, and powerful storms head east. Millions on alert tonight. We have the holiday forecast. The dangerous crash in the nation's capital. A Metro bus crashed right into a restaurant. Multiple injuries reported. The women's Final Four, wins by UCLA and South Carolina, overshadowed by the heated confrontation between two legendary coaches. Tonight, one of them is apologizing. America's on Eagle Watch. Jackie and Shadow about to become parents again, with two eaglets about to hatch. And America's strong. For decades, this trolley driver made every holiday just a little brighter.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight.
Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us on this Saturday. I'm Rachel Scott, in for Whit Johnson. We do begin tonight with the race to find that missing American airman nearly 48 hours after Iran shot down an F-15 fighter jet deep inside their territory. Iran is also searching for that U.S. service member, now offering a $60,000 bounty for their capture. Images released by Iranian state media appear to show parts of that downed aircraft. Tonight, there are new questions about Iran's military capabilities as U.S. forces carry out an urgent search and rescue mission. Just days ago, President Trump claimed that Iran no longer had the ability to shoot down U.S. aircraft. President Trump is at the White House this weekend, issuing another threat to Iran to make a deal in the next 48 hours or face the consequences. We do have team coverage tonight, but we begin with ABC senior White House correspondent Selina Wang.
Tonight, the growing search for the missing U.S. airman nearly 48 hours after Iran shot down an American F-15 deep inside their country. Iran now offering a $60,000 reward for the capture of the missing U.S. service member. The two crew members on board were forced to eject yesterday after their F-15 Strike Eagle was shot down in the western part of Iran. Only one has been rescued. It's the first time Iran has successfully downed a manned American aircraft in this war. Images released by Iranian state media appear to show parts of that aircraft. ABC News has not been able to independently verify those images. Combat rescue teams scouring the mountainous terrain. The C-130 seen refueling two Black Hawk helicopters.
It is dangerous because we will take a lot of risks to recover an isolated person, which means that we will fly lower. We may also insert troops onto the ground.
Experts say these are crucial hours in the search.
It gets more and more difficult for this individual because, of course, no food, no water, or likely very limited supplies of those.
The incident raising questions about Iran's military capabilities after months of targeted strikes by the U.S. and Israel. Just hours after that F-15 went down, Iran shooting down an A-10 Warthog attack jet. The pilot safely ejected and rescued. All of this comes just days after President Trump told the American people in a primetime address that Iran's air defense systems had been decimated. And tonight, Iran's military command says it's using a new air defense system to target U.S. fighter jets. As the search for the pilot continues, the president spending the weekend working at the White House out of public view. He has yet to address the incident, but he is warning Iran only has 2 days to make a deal or open the Strait of Hormuz, writing, "Time is running out, 48 hours before all hell will rain down on them. Glory be to God." And tonight, the condition of that rescued crew member is still unclear. The search for the second is proving to be dangerous. 2 Black Hawk helicopters were struck by Iranian fire during that mission. Officials tell us the crew members are injured, but now safe. Rachel?
Already 13 U.S. service members have been killed in this conflict. Selina Wang at the White House. Selina, thank you. There are new fears tonight of an even wider and more dangerous phase of this war. The Israeli military releasing this video of a strike on a truck in Iran, which it says was used as a mobile launcher for ballistic missiles. And a human rights organization is warning that Iran is recruiting children as young as 12 years old to join its armed forces. ABC's Britt Clennett is in Jerusalem tonight.
Tonight, the president posting a video he says shows intense bombing inside Iran as he threatens to rain hell down on the country if they don't reopen the Hormuz Strait. Israel confirming it hit a petrochemical complex in southwestern Iran, which makes a critical component for ballistic missiles. Iranian state media claiming 5 people were killed in the attack. Iran also saying the area near its Bushehr nuclear power plant was struck in a U.S. and Israeli strike, killing a security guard and damaging a support building. The International Atomic Energy Agency voiced its deep concern, but so far there are no reports of any increase in radiation levels. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi posting on social media saying any radioactive fallout from attacks on its power plants will end life in the Gulf nations, not Tehran. Iran continuing to fire rockets towards Israel and Gulf nations on a daily basis. The UAE and Kuwait both report intercepting dozens of ballistic missiles and drones today alone. And tonight, with the price of oil on global markets skyrocketing, Iran threatening to disrupt traffic in a second strategic waterway, the Bab el-Mandeb, which links the Red Sea with the Gulf of Aden and the Indian Ocean. More than a quarter of the world's container ships pass through that vital passage. And Human Rights Watch saying Iran is now actively recruiting children as young as 12 to join its armed forces.
Rachel, amid all this, Pakistan saying efforts to bring the US and Iran to the negotiating table are right on track. But real progress clearly nowhere in sight after the president's latest threat to rain hell on Iran. The regime responding, saying the region will become hell for the US if it escalates. Rachel?
Britt, thank you. Now to the economic impact of the war here at home. The conflict is driving up shipping and airline prices, with some companies tacking on fees and surcharges. ABC's Alex Bushehr has more.
As the war with Iran enters its 6th week and gas and energy prices are soaring, tonight President Trump taking a victory lap on the economy, touting the trade deficit and his tariff policies. Fresh off a better-than-expected jobs report where the U.S. economy added 178,000 jobs in March, the president posting, "Thank you, Mr. Tariff." All of this and simultaneously getting rid of a nuclear Iran. But some economists are pointing to other signs of economic uncertainty that are forcing Americans to pay more.
The rising gas prices have been brutal.
Like at the pump, where the national average of a gallon of gas is over $4 and higher in some places. And airfare. As millions look to book summer travel, some domestic airfares are going up as much as 20%. United now raising its baggage fee by $10, citing the increasing price of jet fuel for the hike. With the price of a barrel of oil in the U.S. now over $100, cruise lines could add extra charges too.
How far do I want to push the cost of goods up to the public?
Companies now big and small passing that along to consumers. Amazon saying they're joining FedEx and UPS, adopting a fuel surcharge for certain items. Analysts warn that food prices could be next, as trucks transport 83% of America's agricultural products and 92% of dairy, fruit, vegetables, and nuts. The increasing uncertainty reflected in this latest forecast from J.P. Morgan, which paints an uncertain future if the Strait of Hormuz, which 1/5 of the world's oil supply passes through, remains closed, saying much like during COVID, the world will feel an oil shortage with distribution disruptions. And Rachel, for the U.S., that supply shortage could impact West Coast states like California in a few weeks. Rachel?
Yeah, we know so many Americans are feeling the pinch. Alex, thank you. Now to NASA's historic mission. The astronauts are halfway to the moon with more than 100,000 miles to go before Monday's lunar flyby. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
Tonight, 4 Artemis II astronauts aboard the Orion spacecraft are officially more than halfway to the moon.
Integrity Houston, we have some news to share with you. As of 30 seconds ago, you are now closer to the moon than you are to us on Earth.
A thumbs up from pilot Victor Glover.
Wow, Jackie, thank you for sharing that with us. We can see the moon out of the docking hatch right now. It is a beautiful sight. We're seeing more and more of the far side, and it's just a thrill to be here.
Now more than 175,000 miles from Earth. NASA sharing these photos of the crew as they left Earth's orbit, and now as they approach the moon. The crew of the Integrity, Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen, hard at work preparing the capsule for their historic lunar flyby, testing lighting and cameras, and choreographing how they'll move around the cabin when they reach the moon, checking deep space emergency communication systems.
And with that, do I understand I have a go in instruction 76?
Christina, affirm, you are go in 76.
Exercising with that flywheel to prevent muscle loss and zero gravity, all in a capsule the size of 2 minivans. Meals and snacks are carefully planned and scheduled.
I'm in basically the kitchen, so over here we have a potable water dispenser, so that's just the kitchen sink. This is where we need to come to pour water in our glass and drink it, or to rehydrate our food.
On the menu for breakfast this morning, granola, scrambled eggs, vegetable quiche, mango salad, and sausage patties. And back on Earth, Mission Control in Houston is helping keep everything on track, working around the clock in 3 shifts, as the astronauts on board this historic mission send back new images of Earth and their next stop, the moon. And the crew is expected to enter the moon's sphere of influence sometime tomorrow, with that lunar flyby still on schedule for Monday. Rachel?
All right, Andrew, thank you. Now to those wildfires burning in Southern California, fueled by Santa Ana winds. The fast-moving and smoky flames triggered mandatory evacuation orders and warnings on Friday night. But today, firefighters gaining the upper hand. Here's ABC's Alex Stone.
This is crazy.
Tonight, residents of 2 communities shaken, flames erupting in Santa Ana winds.
I was in shock. I'm like, oh my God. I thought the neighbors' houses were actually on fire.
In Moreno Valley, about an hour east of L.A., fire raging toward this neighborhood. Despite mandatory evacuation orders, residents stayed behind trying to protect their homes.
I lived here 20 years. We had a couple fires, but it's never gotten this close.
From the air and ground, firefighters battling what's called the Springs Fire. This is an unusual sight for April, even in Southern California. In Acton, north of L.A., a similar firefight at the Crown Fire.
You know, the firefighters live for these moments. They train all year round to get to these, to make sure that we keep our community safe.
Tonight, evacuation orders have been lifted, and firefighters are making progress containing the blazes. But both fires are stark reminders of last year's deadly January firestorm in Southern California. And Rachel, tonight firefighters are warning these active fires could be a sign of what's to come. It is tinder dry in much of Southern California. The region is primed to burn. Rachel?
Okay, Alex, thank you. And let's bring in WABC meteorologist Danny Beckstrom. And Danny, you're also tracking severe storms in the east.
Yeah, Midwest tonight, Rachel. Let's start there. This is the same system that brought the severe weather to parts of the center of the country yesterday. It's now moving into the Midwest. Winter weather for the upper Midwest, a few inches of snow, blowing snow. But let's focus in on that severe threat. A severe thunderstorm watch for northern Ohio, Columbus, up through Cleveland tonight. Some damaging wind gusts. But also in Michigan, we are seeing widespread flood watches and even a few tornado warnings tonight. Again, best place to be basement or interior room with no windows. This system then slowly slides east as we move into Easter morning. Widespread stretch from Florida up through the Northeast with a few rumbles of thunder and showers Sunday morning and afternoon. The rest of the country, pretty quiet, pretty comfortable for Easter Sunday. But I also want to mention, behind tomorrow's front, the Northeast getting another round of colder air. So it looks like the temperature roller coaster will continue for us here in the Northeast.
Okay, Danny, with the Easter weekend forecast. Thanks, Danny. All right, we turn now to college basketball. The men's final 4 matches are tonight. First up, UConn versus Illinois, and the women's championship game is now set. South Carolina will face off against UCLA. But it's what happened after the South Carolina-UConn game that has everyone talking. Christian Cordero has more on that moment. Christian?
Rachel, we're here in Phoenix after that dominating performance by South Carolina and head coach Dawn Staley. And today, an apology from her opponent after that moment that had everyone talking. In the final tense seconds of Friday's semifinal, UConn head coach Geno Auriemma confronted Staley Auriemma accused her of refusing to shake his hand before the game and referenced this moment when UConn's Sarah Strong had to replace her torn jersey, accusing South Carolina of ripping it. Strong clarified she tore it by accident, which you can see. In a statement today, Auriemma said, quote, "There's no excuse for how I handled the end of the game," apologizing to the staff, though not mentioning Staley by name. Staley's Gamecocks now turn their attention to tomorrow's championship matchup versus UCLA. UCLA is chasing its first NCAA title in program history. And if it's anything like last night, this place, Rachel, will be electric. Both teams bringing the heat to the Phoenix Desert. Rachel?
It sure will, Christiane. All right, thank you. And you can watch the Women's Championship Final tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern right here on ABC. And there's still so much more of world news ahead on this Saturday, including a dangerous crash in D.C., what happened when a bus plowed into a restaurant, and why so many Americans are focused on what's happening inside an eagle's nest in California. Tonight, we're following breaking news from New Hampshire. A manhunt is underway in Raymond after a police officer was shot and wounded this afternoon. Police had been called to a home on a report that a man was shooting at family members. That suspect allegedly turned the gun on the officers and then fled. Nearby residents have been told to shelter in place as police search for the gunman. Next, a dangerous crash in the nation's capital. D.C. officials say a Metro bus collided with a vehicle, then plowed into a restaurant early this morning. The restaurant was empty at the time, but 3 women, including the bus driver, were taken to hospitals. Their conditions are not known tonight. Crews spent several hours removing the bus from the entrance. In New Jersey, a massive 5-alarm fire at an abandoned chemical factory. Smoke and flames shot high in the air over Patterson. Firefighters were hampered by low water pressure. The building has been vacant for nearly 2 decades, and the federal government has deemed it a Superfund site. No injuries were reported. The cause of that fire is under investigation. Still ahead, we'll show you where they got a head start on Easter with a shower of candy. To the index now, one of the NBA's biggest stars is out for the rest of the regular season. The LA Lakers' Luka Dončić sprained a hamstring on Thursday. He's averaging more than 33 points per game for the Lakers, who are currently 3rd in the Western Conference. Dončić has only played in 64 games, leaving him 1 game short of being eligible for the top NBA awards. Next tonight, a big day for Jackie and Shadow, the bald eagles at California's Big Bear Lake. They're about to become parents once again. One eaglet appears to be in the process of hatching, the head seen popping out of its shell. A second egg is also showing signs of cracking. A live stream is capturing all of this, with thousands following their progress. And it wasn't rain or snow, but marshmallows falling from the sky in Wayne County, Michigan. 15,000 of them were dropped from a helicopter Friday at 2 parks for an early Easter treat. Hundreds of children gladly scooped them up, but they were warned not to eat the marshmallows since they had been on the ground. County officials said they could exchange them for a special prize. When we come back, America Strong, one more ride on the Holiday Express. Finally tonight, America's Strong, and happy retirement to a man who made commuting a little more fun. That's Philly streetcar 9053, and behind the wheel is Gary Mason. He's kept Philadelphia's spirit of brotherly love alive for decades, decorating his trolley car with lights, hearts, even flowers. But after 40 years, Gary is retiring, taking his final ride this week. His journey began in 1986.
I always wanted to operate a streetcar since a child.
Soon after, he decided to spruce up his trolley for the holidays, starting with Christmas and Easter, his kids making it a family affair, then adding Halloween and Valentine's Day along the way.
Welcome to the Valentine's Day trolley. I'm your operator and DJ, Gary Mason.
No details escaping Gary's attention.
It makes a difference bringing cheer and joy to all the passengers. That's what I get out of it.
4 decades later, Gary is still grateful that he found his dream job.
Not everybody gets to work a job they love. Not everybody gets to work a job they love. I didn't know I would last this long. Doing all this and start to wear and tear on my back.
But he says it's a labor of love that is worth it, just to see people smile.
The smiles on grown adults, the childness comes out in them. Am I going to be a little emotional when I leave? I probably will, because that little kid's still in me.
And we're wishing you a happy retirement, Gary. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Rachel Scott. Good night.
David Muir, the most trusted anchor in America, the most watched anchor in America. Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir the #1 newscast in America.